love you guys.
Dance off, bro. I have the high ground.
Expecto Patronum!
39 days, 20 people, 1 survivor.
On the Tribe of Nerds. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Tribe of Nerds Reality After Show, episode 7, and we're talking about Shaun of the Dead. We're starting the Cornetto Trilogy, which is a bunch of British comedies starring Simon Pegg and Nick Frost and directed by Edgar Wright. So this is Shaun of the Dead, a zombie parody, and it's a really fun movie. I'll go through the stats here real quick. Shaun of the Dead, the critics gave it a 92%, and the audience was pretty much on board as well with a 93%, so both really high scores. And the box office was a 38.7 million, and the budget was like 6 million, so it did pretty well. So,
yeah, it's a nice payday.
Yeah. So what did you guys think of
Imagine making a movie today for $6 million.
I know.
You guys are making money?
Insane. It's insane. But yeah, what did you guys think of Shaun of the Dead?
It was all right. Like, I didn't dislike it. I didn't the roommate that like nobody liked, I also didn't like. So I was like, yeah, kill him. Like
Ed,
he was annoying. Like, he was annoying. He farted the one time, and I was like, I know that you farted, and I'm not even in the room with you. God damn it. So you know, he could have died like, I didn't know why they kept trying to save him. It's like, why are you trying to save him? He's annoying. He's the worst.
Because that's what friends do. Because even against my better judgment, if we were in a zombie apocalypse, I would begrudgingly have to try to save you, Kevin. Because that's what friends do.
I don't know how to tell you this, Sarah. When the zombie apocalypse happens, and it will start in Florida, so I will have immediate experience. But when it happens, I'm going to be the one who's going to have to save you.
No, I don't. No, because you'll be a zombie. I'm going to have to shoot you in the head is what's going to happen.
You're going to want to shoot me in the head and say it's because I'm a zombie, but I'm not going to be a zombie because I do CrossFit.
Yeah, Sarah would just like, regardless, Kevin didn't even get bitten. Sarah would try to shoot Kevin.
I swear to God, you guys, he fucking drooled. I saw
it. Yeah, I mean, Shaun of the Dead, it's interesting. It's like, I debate which one, I guess, is the worst of the trilogy, because I don't think they're great. So, like, if I had to pick a worst, it's kind of tough. I'd probably say the World's End is probably the worst one. We'll get there eventually. And this is probably second. By far, the best one is the second one, which is Hot Fuzz. But this one's still pretty good. I mean, I think it's a classic. The zombie stuff is really, really fun, and Edgar Wright knows how to write these movies really well, and like the comedy stuff comes back from the beginning later in the movie.
Yeah. And that's one thing, like, if I guess, like, I would say about these movies, because back then, like, this was early 2000s, 2004.
Yeah, 2004. So, yeah, 20 years ago.
Scary movie. This is the height of like all those satire-esque movies, and like it was, zombies were becoming a thing, and like people were really interested in it. And it's really hard to make a campy type zombie movie that's comedic but also has like serious points where it's like, I did enjoy this movie because I feel like it's just very one of the few that I would go back and watch again that isn't dumb, because you do get some sort of character development throughout the movie, you know what I mean? Like, there is growth within the movie. It's not all just stupid shit, but at the same time it's just this pack of like normal average friends. You know, there's not one person that's single-handedly like CrossFit Kevin over here saving the day. You know, it's like just normal people in this scenario. So I mean, I do appreciate the movie for what it is. I haven't seen the next two after this, so I am curious to see how it goes from here. So yeah, it's so, like you said, Sarah, like Shaun has like the whole growth arc
throughout the movie of like he should do something with his life and like, you know, stand up for himself against his lazy roommate Ed or housemate, but he does. So like eventually he continues to like grow as a person and eventually does stand up to Ed and be like, hey, stop doing this, you know, all this other stuff. So I mean, and like there
I do
were
like
moments.
the symbolism, how it's like they're kind of like zombies before all this anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
I do enjoy that, and like how you said things that are said come back later into play. Like I enjoy a movie that does things like that because it makes sure that you're paying attention. You know, so I appreciate it.
Exactly. And that's just the genius of Edgar Wright. Like I said, I don't think any of this trilogy is bad. So but yeah, Kevin, you got any more thoughts?
I'm sure you have some.
I liked once they got to the bar, like then it got good because A, people were dying, and B, like stuff was happening.
Yeah.
A lot of the beginning was like it was funny, but it wasn't laugh out loud funny.
Right.
And I think I was expecting laugh out loud funny. So in the beginning I was like, what is this? But yeah, I liked it by the end. I didn't understand why, I mean, spoiler alert for the end, there's like a secret room under the bar.
Yeah.
Why didn't they just go under the bar in the first place?
Because it's a secret.
Yeah, it's a secret.
Why not just go there in the first place? But like, yeah, it was once they had to like start making tough decisions and like, but like, it's still funny, right? Like I like it because it's the dramatic part, but it's still when they're arguing about like having to shoot Shaun's mom in the head,
yeah,
because she got bit, right? Like that was funny.
Oh, good.
But it's also like something happening. So
right, and I mean, like it's funny, but it's also a little sad. Like they have to shoot his mom, but like so.
And they're breaking glasses and all like holding the glasses out to their necks.
That's the funny part. Yeah. That's good. And then I think one of my favorite lines is the David guy, the guy with the glasses, and like at the beginning when he's going to get Liz, and like David again is like trying to argue with Shaun immediately when he gets there and be like, go away, because he like David wants to be with Liz instead, and like Shaun is just like fuck off for his like
he's not even wearing his glasses.
That was good. Like it was all so good, and like yeah, so much stuff comes into play. Like even David's demise was like the fact like at one point
when
he says
he's standing by the window and he gets dragged through
and he gets torn apart. He says earlier in the movie that I don't want to just get torn apart or whatever, and then that's how he dies.
Right.
Yeah,
so
the foreshadowing is just
love.
But like as much as I like that because like it's happening, but like it's something's happening, but it's also that like that was done like in a fun, silly, practical way. So like as he's getting pulled apart, they go to the people who are holding his legs and they both just like fall backward holding a leg.
Yeah.
But at different, like slightly off times.
Yeah.
Like one falls than the other. So like in a way that is like still telling the story, still being dramatic, but made me laugh. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
This is good.
Yeah, and that's what I appreciate this movie, because it's like just normal average people. It's not meant to be like the perfect chiseled chin like movie superhero thing. Like it's meant to be average, you know. So I liked it.
Yeah, it's like completely average, like, you know, Shaun like isn't like living life to its fullest at all. He's kind of a loser. Or like
I like that scene where what's that lady's, was it Yvonne, where they like met and like
the army lady.
Like, essentially like the lookalikes all walked past each other. Like I enjoyed that.
That was hilarious. And like one of those is Martin Freeman. So Martin Freeman was in there, and like it was really funny to see because he's in Black Panther. He's Bilbo Baggins, obviously. Like it's just really funny. Yeah. And Martin Freeman shows up in the other two movies in the trilogy, by the way. So
Sometimes Sarah is notably surprised by something, and I'm like, God, you're dumb.
Listen, I don't wear my glasses, so you could tell me that was Elvis Presley, and I'd be like, shit, man, that's okay.
Yeah. Yeah, but like even like they even set up like the army lady earlier in the movie, like he meets up with her like 2 other times in the movie like this, and then the army is the way they get rescued. So like it's
Yeah.
set up from the beginning of the movie. So
And yeah, there were things earlier that were like, I want to say like clever, right? Like, but they weren't like laugh out loud funny to me. So like when he's going through the plans, like the different version of the plan of like, and like it keeps ending with him like winking at the camera and cheersing. Like that was funny, but I wasn't like laughing out loud. I was like, oh, that's silly, huh? Or like when he does like his morning routine and walks to the store.
yes, and it's 2 different.
And then the next day when he goes and the zombie apocalypse was started, it's like it's all different. I was like, okay, like I see what you're doing, and this is funny, but I'm not like cackling. But then, like I said, when they're fighting over shooting mom in the head, and he's literally getting torn apart, and it's like it's not CGI, it's all practical. It's very cheap practical, so it's like it's funny. Like that's the part where I liked it.
Yeah, and like
Kevin's favorite part would be where a guy gets his clothes ripped off. Whatever. Yay.
I mean, to be clear, his clothes stayed on. He got eaten.
Yeah. Well, that's so funny because then I get reminded of like the times when Shaun is like, well, I want to go get Liz, and then Ed's like, gay.
Yay.
It's so good. I don't know. Like I see why Ed isn't the most likable character in this movie, but I still think has so many like just iconic funny moments.
Yeah. I mean, you have to have that best friend that just says stupid shit. Like that's why we have Kevin here, Jake.
You were just surprised to find out who played one of the hobbits. You're on a channel called Tribe of Nerds, and you didn't know someone who was in Black Panther. Like
I might have subconsciously known it, but like I enjoy a brush up, like a little light bulb. Yeah, no, okay, I see it now.
I didn't realize they had power on pirate ships. Anyway,
no, none at all. Oh, it's horrible out here.
Yeah, but I did want to touch on like those Edgar Wright style sequences, like they, as you mentioned earlier, like the cuts of their plan that they're gonna go kill Philip, get Liz or his mom, just genius. Like that stuff. Like Edgar Wright was supposed to direct Ant-Man, and like you can tell like the Luis sequences from the Ant-Man movies, or the first 2 at least, that those are Edgar Wright type things.
yes.
So I really like that, and it does actually crack me up every time the killing Philip, like sorry Philip, and just like it's iconic.
Killing Philip, and then like carry like because in his little like plan, his little like in his head image, like he's carrying his mom real easily, and she's got a big smile on her face, and like it's dumb. It is funny, but I was just like, oh,
Yeah. And Philip is of course played by Bill Nighy or Davy Jones.
right.
And he's also and he's also the dad in It's About Time with Rachel McAdams and General Hux from Star Wars. So it's like a rom-com. But yeah, no, I like that Bill Nighy is in this, and I actually like the moment of like him and Shaun absolutely, or at least Shaun like hates him, and then at the end finds out like his stepdad like actually did care for him like right before he becomes a zombie. So like I thought that was a good moment.
Yay.
But yeah, I was a huge fan of The Walking Dead when it was good.
Mhm.
When it was good, not once it got bad. So I was also like, this isn't how zombies work.
But it's so fun. I don't know.
Yeah,
And
but like I said, so in the beginning, like once I got used to that too, that's probably also what made it like funnier to me. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
because in the beginning, I'm like, that's not how this works. But then by the end, and I'm like, okay, well, I mean, that's how these ones work, so this is okay.
Yeah.
I know the whole movie. I was just like, when are they gonna start sparkling?
Oh, great, a Twilight reference. Matt,
We are doing Twilight on this channel, folks. It is gonna happen.
Matt's gonna be really happy to hear that. So
Zombies aren't in Twilight. Vampires
I thought we were just making shit up. So if The Walking Dead can change how zombies work just because they watched Shaun of the Dead and didn't like them dressing up and pretending to be zombies, well, then we're just gonna make some shit up. So now they sparkle and they give off Wi-Fi. That's what we're doing.
great.
and give off Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Let's see some other fun moments from this movie, like even at the some other fun callbacks that I always notice, like the Winchester, of like how they're always saying it doesn't work, like it's not a real gun, and then it is actually like a real gun.
Yes,
like you're
yes.
totally expecting that. And
I
then
feel like that kind of like could age badly, poorly, given that whole Alec Baldwin situation.
yeah, I totally get that. In this movie it works, I think. But
Well, yeah, I mean, it's like my mind automatically goes like,
yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
whoops.
Yeah,
Well,
whoops.
I mean, they probably. Well, this was made so cheaply. They probably did use a real gun that was just unloaded.
Yeah. Yeah. It really wasn't like there wasn't much of a budget as we went over.
Right.
So
Right. For $6 million, they used a gun that somebody else already owned and just brought it in that day.
yeah. Yeah.
They did not make a rubber gun.
And then of course like the their other housemate Pete, that he becomes a zombie and you get the fuck a doodle do callback. It's like that's genius. I love that. And
To me, it was also funny that he kept being naked.
yes, that he was naked because he turned into a zombie in the shower. Like
Yeah, that, I mean, 10 out of 10 did not appreciate seeing all that, but whatever.
But
a good
it was
bit.
like the back of the chair would like block.
yes, yeah. Well, it's or
Yeah,
like the
no,
part of
it's
the
fine,
fence.
but, like,
yeah,
Yeah. It was that type of humor of like
it's the Austin Powers type humor. Where they keep blocking
Yes,
out
yes.
someone's like privates. Yeah,
yes.
it's so funny. Yeah. So and then another funny moment was when they're arguing in the bar or something, and like David's like, yeah, maybe stop you know, having a fun affair with your boyfriend or whatever. He's like, it's not my boyfriend, and then he's like, Ed's like, here you go, babe. Thing.
I did catch that. That was really funny. Not my boyfriend. Here you go, babe. Thanks, babe.
Oh, so good. I feel like I remember it every time, and I think I was like looking down at my phone or something, so I wasn't sure if I caught it right this time. I don't know if this part ages well, and maybe he said something else, but doesn't Ed also, like, he pulls up in the car when they're getting Philip and Shaun's mom, and he says, I thought he said the N-word, honestly, which I
thought I heard it. I remember I was doing the same thing. I think I was like playing
Really?
Wordle or something, and I was like,
yeah,
I
that's
didn't hear that, but that's bad.
yeah,
That's
I
real bad.
didn't realize. I feel like I've heard that in it before, and then I heard it again, and I'm like, wait, that actually was put in this movie.
I
Right,
thought I
that's
heard it, and I was like,
fine
oh,
with that.
I must have like not like that couldn't have been true. But like, I don't know, British people are very like they call each other cunts all the time. So like
That's my favorite word, honestly. That's why my last name is Brit, because like I love the word cunt. Love it.
You're so fucking weird. Anyway,
Okay.
But yeah, like it's just that's one that didn't fly for me.
yeah, no, I wonder if it was like because this is what, like 20 years ago?
Yeah, 20 years ago,
So I
2004.
wonder if like 20 years ago, British people like it was like you weren't supposed to say it, but it was also like no one cared. Whereas now, like you definitely care.
Well, yeah.
But like because they're I feel like British people and Australian people in general are like more comfortable using swear words that like, you know what I mean? Like I think
Yeah.
it might have been something that took longer to like convince people was not acceptable.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, so that's probably one joke in these movies that doesn't fly, but I mean, luckily every other like joke like flies mostly. So, um yeah, I mean, luckily there's nothing like that in Hot Fuzz to my memory, but um, yeah, I mean, anything else we want to go over from this movie? I mean, like we got the zombies as well. I mean, there's some fun stuff like when they first see the girl in the backyard and they have the whole thing with her and like the big Homer Simpson zombie where it's like they're just chucking the records at them and
Oh my God. Like,
That's one thing I loved about this movie is just again like it being so average, like them just being so slow where like they know it's gonna take they have a while to get something done. They could take the trash out quick or just stupid or yeah, just throwing the inanimate objects. It's just so stupid. It's so funny.
yeah, yeah, that was a great moment for me. Um, let's see. Oh, and then I mentioned it on the Tribe of Nerds post, but I love it when they put music in and it actually like they make it fit within the movie more. So you have them playing Don't Stop Me Now on the jukebox and they're beating like the bar manager zombie to the
to the
beat.
beat.
Yeah, it's so good. That like the choreography like that they must have had to go through to make sure that like that worked a little bit. Just like it
Oh yeah.
was so good.
Well, and what's his face goes to flip the breakers, and he's just like flipping them at random too.
Yes,
So
to the
that's
beat. Yeah,
also to the beat. Yes.
it's so good. I like that's incredible. So I'm Edgar Wright, I just feel like is such a genius when it comes to this stuff. So um anything else we noticed?
I have not. But I did, I guess, want to say a special shout out to stupid Ryan Neo Wayne and tell him a happy birthday from the Tribe of Nerds.
Yes, yes. Happy birthday, Ryan.
Yes.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Ryan. It's the day after my birthday, and it's a rough one. Last night was a good night. So I'm sorry I don't sound more enthusiastic, Ryan, but happy birthday.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Happy birthday from the Tribe of Nerds. So then I guess the ending and then like Shaun and Liz are together, everybody else is dead, but they did keep Ed as a zombie, so Shaun can play video games with Ed still. So
I like
That's what we need.
yeah, it was a good like silly ending because it's not only him in the shed playing video games and Shaun being like, "No, we talked about this. You can't bite me," like like a naughty pet, which was funny. But also
So
like
funny.
when he's flipping through the channels and like one of them is like the woman who's still in love with her husband who's now a zombie and like it's like a talk
Yes.
show like a
Yes.
Maury type talk show like it was like stupid like that was funny.
Well, and then earlier in the movie, they did that originally where he's flipping through the channels to get the news, and it's like every next channel is like
Yes.
continuing what the
Yes.
it's
And
so
he's
good.
ignoring it.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's so good. It's so good. Yeah, this is a really solid, great zombie movie, parody movie. It's honestly probably one of the best parody movies in this type of genre.
Oh, I agree.
So, I guess if I'm gonna give it a grade, I mean, I'm trying to think of like, do I want to give it just a little less if I'm ranking the three, but I guess we'll rank the three as we go. But I'll give it an A. I mean, like A minus, but I'll say an A for now for Shaun of the Dead. It's a really solid, great movie. So
I would say I'd probably give it a B because it took me a little bit to get into it, but once I did, it was good.
Yeah, I mean the setup takes a bit.
Agree with you. Oh, he said B, so I'm gonna say B plus, so it's different. So then he's still technically at the bottom. So
yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, so it's a solid movie. That's gonna give it like an A minus or something. So So yeah, I mean that fits, I think. So that is Shaun of the Dead. So as the first of the trilogy, next week is one of my favorite movies of all time. Hot Fuzz. I actually did a paper on it in college and got an A on that paper. So it was like a study on like the characters and how they fit with like communication theory. So
Do you still have this paper?
I can try to find it.
We're gonna need the paper if you can find it. Come on.
Yeah, no, I'll try to find it unless it's on my other computer because this is a different computer than what I had back then. But yeah, no, it's really funny that like I was able to use a movie like Hot Fuzz and able to write it around communication theory that I did. So,
I mean,
um,
considering, weren't you in like a nerdy fraternity? So that like
yes,
makes sense. It makes sense. So it
yes.
honestly checks out. So
Yeah,
I would expect
that's a
nothing
very you
less.
thing to do. Yes.
Yeah, for sure. So, but Hot Fuzz is a really fun movie. Still more like celebrities in that one, and just like I feel like you guys will probably enjoy this one. I just think it's the most well written of the trilogy, and like it's the funniest, I think. So, um, yeah, I'm very excited for you guys to watch it and to rewatch it again. So, um, any closing thoughts before we close this out?
Kevin's a piece of shit.
Oh my gosh! Thank you for thinking of me.
Aw. All right. Well, yeah, so we will see you all next time on the Tribe of Nerds.
Fuck you, Kevin.
Fuck you too, sweetie.